Hey everyone, I hope you've been well. So today we're going to be talking about a characteristic that I feel like I've seen in my private practice that is really the number one key to success, whether that's in relationships or marriages or professionally or in academics. This trait I've seen over the years be one of the most powerful characteristics and traits in individuals to help them become more successful in almost anything they want to do, and also avoid more difficulty than the next person who maybe doesn't possess this characteristic or trait. And so right off the bat, I'll tell you that it's teachability. Teachability. But now let's spend some time talking about why teachability really is the number one characteristic and the number one trait that I've seen promote success in people's lives. So we oftentimes hear about characteristics and traits like motivation or focus or consistency, and those are really great. The only downside with those particular traits is that they don't really create or involve things that you maybe aren't good at, things that may be getting in the way of what you're struggling with. So for instance, you can have somebody who's consistently making mistakes or consistently moving in the wrong direction. You can have somebody who's very focused on the wrong things, very focused on a direction that it actually isn't helping them. And you can have someone who's very motivated to do things that aren't actually in their best interest or aren't actually going to better their lives in any way. But when it comes to teachability, we're talking about the characteristic and trait that really allows an individual to learn what they don't know what they're doing and learn what they need to do. A lot of times, mistakes in people's lives, issues in people's lives, come down to the fact that they don't really want to let go of how they think things should be done. They don't really want to let go of how they think they should be communicating to their spouse. They don't really want to let go of how they think they should be running their business. It's almost as if most people think to themselves, mine, mine, mine. I don't actually want to share. I don't actually want to try something new. But when you interject teachability, you're basically bringing into someone's life the ability to say, I don't have all the answers. I don't know necessarily what to do, and I'm open to an alternative perspective in order to get this done. And that may sound easy, and it may sound straightforward to some of you, but teachability becomes really, really important when you get yourself into situations where the stakes are really high, maybe a marital situation, or maybe a career situation where the stakes are really high and you're feeling like if I do something I'm uncomfortable with, if I do something I don't like, things may really go south. But it's really in those moments that teachability is most important, because when your ego is really inflamed, when you feel like you want to do things your way, or let's talk about it on the other end of the spectrum, when you don't know what's going on, when you're really confused, but you feel like you should know the answer and you feel like you should just try and do something even if it's not the right answer, it's those moments where teachability is really important. I once heard a little story. It doesn't really make that much sense, but it's kind of cute. You take somebody who's perfect and you take somebody who's teachable, and the teachable person will actually eventually outpace the perfect person, because the perfect person thinks to themselves, I got everything going, everything's golden, I don't need any help, while the teachable person's saying, I still have a long way to go, I don't have it all together. And in time, even the teachable person will outpace the perfect person, because teachability is all about growth. Teachability is all about improving and admitting that we don't have all the answers and we need other people's help to kind of help us get us there. So I hope that little expose on this characteristic and trait is helpful, and that you really take the time to think about teachability and the problems you're going through, teachability and the struggles that you're experiencing, and that you would be willing to kind of let go of any pride or let go of any possessiveness you have around what you think the right answer is, and perhaps try out teachability, because I can honestly tell you that I've seen teachability change people's lives when they're really willing to open their minds and open their hearts to different perspectives. So feel free to share this video with those who you think would get a lot out of this idea of teachability, a lot out of this idea of the one characteristic that could really help them do a better job in certain areas of their life. And I really appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.